right, welcome everybody. We have an exciting episode with David Volansky at Lynn's Arcade. Hang tight and we're gonna start soon. Here we go. All right, welcome everybody. We have another exciting episode of PinTech Live, our guest tech series. We're back at Lynn's Arcade. Matthew, thank you for hosting us again.
No problem.
And look who's here! Grumpy EM Doctor in the flesh. David
Everybody.
Volansky has been on our show a few times, but always as a talking head like me. But now we have his full avatar here, so we're really excited. Thanks so much for coming to Lynn's. And yeah, give us a little bit of a background of who you are for those who don't know the legendary David Volansky.
All right. So this is also my first time at Lynn's, so that'll be part of figuring out how to do this here. But I'm David Volansky. I'm from San Francisco. I used to play pinball when I was a little kid, and then there were decades where nothing happened. And in the late 2000s, I went to some Pacific Pinball Expos put on by the Pacific Pinball Museum. I've worn their shirt today. And got involved with them because I wanted to learn how to fix the games, and really didn't even know what I was quite getting into, but it was a curiosity of mine, and it got to a point where it clicked. And because of the collection that museum has, I kind of focused on electromechanical first. I can work my way through other electronic games as well. But because I worked on electromechanical and got competent with schematics and the mechanisms that are in these games, that's often what I end up specializing in. If I'm working at a show, I'll take care of the EMs. There's some tournaments I go to, and I might focus on just the EMs there. And, for the museum, we have a bunch of volunteers that do our fixing, but I need to work on whatever's broken. But I've been doing it so about 10 years, give or take.
Amazing. Nice.
And So a lot of you might also know me. I participate in the EM online repair clinics that happen occasionally. I guess we have one tomorrow.
Yes.
So
And I'm dropping in a link in the chat for that too.
okay, a link for it's kind of too late to register, but I think Mark might
For
be able to. We
tomorrow.
might have
Yeah.
observers for tomorrow, but if you have a broken game, you need to let him know a little earlier. But yeah, we have people join that session. Those do not get recorded, but and they don't exactly stream. It's more like a Zoom call. It's a different platform, but everyone joins, and we talk you through fixing your game in real time. And
he helped me during COVID.
That's right.
Yeah. Wait, am I gonna be on it on Friday?
It looked like I saw a question. You referred to me when I saw the questions got sent out. So I think, is that you with batter up?
Yes, my batter up.
Yeah.
With my
You'll be
score
on it tomorrow.
motor stuck on. Okay, awesome. Exciting.
All right. So that's a little background for me. I still volunteer at the Pacific Pinball Museum in Alameda. I've got games from the museum and some other games I maintain out at Free Gold Watch in San Francisco. And here I am, making a guest appearance.
That's amazing. And yeah, I first met you about 7 or 8 years ago at the Museum of Pinball. You were down there in Banning, helping them with all of their EMs too. And yeah,
I know they had a bunch of volunteers before I ever got there who put all the games on legs and set them all up and cleaned all the play fields and changed all the rubbers. And then, I came in and thinking, I'll look for what the problems are and everything. Most of the EMs would not start up. It was like, oh no, this is so much harder than I thought it was going to be. And boy, people heard the call. I mean, people came out of everywhere and they ended up with quite a crew.
And you did a lot of on-site training there too, where you how to clean score reels and all sorts of things like that.
Yeah. We started a series of YouTube videos and we got one of them done. So there is a YouTube video from me doing
and that video is so good too. I should find it again and drop a link. We've linked to it before, but it's a good
if you look up Gottlieb Decagon, I think if you Google my name, you might find that. I don't know.
Oh, it already pops up in my search.
Okay. Yeah, so we got that one done, and I mean, there's nothing really stopping us from doing more, but I worked on it with a guy that I only see when I'm there. He's in San Diego. I'm in San Francisco. We're not really worrying about doing more. The goat shed videos are good. Like I haven't.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that I need to repeat anything he's done. So it's like there might be enough out there already, where there wasn't when, I hadn't actually looked at a lot of the videos that were online at the time, and the guy who was collaborating with me on this. He came in with his ideas of what we were going to do, and I was really thrown off. We had the main camera was an iPhone on like a Gorilla Pod, and it was between me and what I was doing.
Oh, here it is.
And it was, I mean, the video comes out great. You've got like the technician's eye view. And so it worked really, I think that worked well. Plus he did a one other camera so he could switch. It was all, I mean, the editing was offline, but we didn't change content, I don't think. He just did some camera switching, but yeah, we didn't do any more.
It's okay. You're back now and teaching still, and the Fun with Pinball seminars and online trainings that y'all do, just absolute amazing resource for our community. So thank you for that.
Thanks.
Yeah. David, did you mention, or I don't really know the answer to this, but I know you do so much volunteer work for EM repair, but are you like also a tech for hire? Do you operate a business where you
not
do
really.
repair work?
Not really. I mean, I'll do the occasional one-off house visit, but it's not a business I need to promote or try to grow or anything like that. No.
You just train us to be self-sufficient.
Right. There are other people who do that. So, I can refer you to people. It's just, it's not what I do.
Gotcha.
So there's the occasional time I'll do it. kind of just depends where it is.
For sure. Keep it fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you're here at Lynn's because we do have a few games that we wanted you to look at. Right now, y'all are standing in front of Old Chicago.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this game. What's going on with it?
Well, we started up. It tries to kick the ball out of the trough into the shooter lane, and it doesn't seem to make it. And it just keeps adding a bonus and then going from ball 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and then ends the game. That's kind of where we are for now. Once we get into it a little bit more, we did have a playfield swap done on it. So if you look at the playfield, it's perfect.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So we'll see once if we figure this thing out if there's any other issues with it. But
And I think I was asking you, did this work before the swap?
it did.
And it did work.
Yeah.
So we might just have a mechanical alignment thing. I got here a little while ago, but been really hesitant to work on the game before the stream started. So, I do not know.
I was like, don't touch it yet.
Yeah.
I do not know what we're gonna do.
Turn it on and see what happens.
Yeah, I guess we should probably
All
start
right,
by showing
Let's
the
get
problem.
into it. Yeah, what's the first thing you check?
Well,
Okay.
and the game is on free play, so we're gonna start a game. So you can hear, oh, the ball came out. Has it ever come out before?
Not since we did the play.
You fixed it.
No. So well, this is exciting. Okay. I'm gonna let it just drain. We'll check the flippers later. Let's see. So I will say, before we started, I did have my fingers on the coil, and I just kind of pulled. You can see it that the instruction card's not here, so I could just move the plunger a few times. I can't imagine that made the difference. That would be pretty funny. Not scoring. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's now working.
Now, like going out just.
Can't believe the ball's coming out every time now.
Yeah.
But there's certainly, so double bonus is, so even single bonus was over. We have a problem. So I lost track of the problems. We'll just attack them one at a time. What I did know, so we'll see if the ball kicker is going to be consistent now, because that was not working until we started showing you the problem. So I noticed when we had double bonus on ball 3, it was decrementing but not scoring. I noticed on other balls when we had some bonus, it was not decrementing once per.
Right.
It wasn't. It was slow to decrement and over awarding.
Yeah.
And then somehow on ball 5, instead of collecting bonus, it was adding on to it.
Yeah.
Did you see?
At the same time?
I mean, we didn't try to do a lot of other stuff. I never even hit a flipper, but that was certainly part of it.
See hit that one drop target and it didn't score when the drop target went down.
So let's try one more time. We'll get a little bit of we'll get a little more info, but I'm probably gonna pick that.
What's happening?
And it's still on ball 5. So it's not ending a game. And I hit the ball. Yeah, it should. I believe it's supposed to start the bonus on with 1, but it shouldn't be awarding 1,000. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, so getting to the 0 of bonus was a challenge. That gives me an idea of something. Where to start? All right. I'm not sure where the best place to start is, but let's take a look at the bonus unit.
Okay.
I want to make sure that it's stepping up and stepping down freely. I also want to make sure that the switch is either going to open or close. I'm not sure until I look at the unit. When you get to that 0 mark, is acting correctly, because I think that's giving us a little bit of trouble there. I don't know what's up with the socket. Some of the lamps aren't coming on real well, and that could be the socket, but it could also be the wiper on the unit. So we'll let's go ahead and raise the playfield. So we need to do a little camera stuff here.
Yep. And Pez Johnson in the chat says switch should be open at 0.
Okay. Camera that can get that, or
We're rolling in. This is such a great
I think
setup.
just this light on this side.
Let's see. I'll go like that. And we'll do one of these. Whoa.
So you're looking at this one?
Yeah, I just
Ooh, okay.
so I'll let you worry about the camera, and I'll just gonna look at the game for a little bit. Just want to see how it steps up and down by hand.
Nice shot. Look at that lens flare. So beautiful.
People might want to see. Well, I'll let you know when there's something to see on this side, but I'm trying to figure out.
Butter, I know, definitely.
So this is it
So
runs
is it
a little bit
sticky?
slow. What's that?
Is it sticky? Like,
Yeah, it's running a little bit slow. We had talked about how these rivets didn't get greased, so I'm going to grease those and see how much that helps. Just to start us off.
how much grease is it just a very, very light amount of grease that you put on it?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just a really thin amount.
And
And
just
I'm not
on the
even
back?
necessarily gonna get it everywhere because it'll spread itself out as well. If I get it most of where it needs to go.
You're doing great, Matthew.
I'm not getting.
Let's see.
It should be doing 10 steps and it stops. Let me see what's causing that. We saw it stepping up more than that. Yeah. So I'm going to get it all the way to 0. All right. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's getting all the way. That is the last one. So here, if we bring the camera around this side, I'll make sure people understand one thing about it. So when you're, especially when you're working on a stepper in electromechanical, a lot of times people will look at a new game a game that's new to them, and they'll say, "Oh, there's a tooth missing." So if you see that, where it appears there is a tooth missing.
Oh, okay,
Right,
sure.
this one right here, it appears
Right.
there's a tooth missing. That's actually the upper limit for that stepper unit. The lower limit for it, you can't see unless we take it apart. But there's a chunk of more of this plastic on the back side that actually hits a piece of the bracket. So when I've stepped it down all the way, it actually gets, it not only is it opening the switch, but it's also, it's hitting something physical that's going to prevent it from going further. But what I have noticed is it's like it's getting resistance from the switch before it gets to the end, for one thing, right? So it's already on the switch. Let's see. See, it's not quite getting all the way down to 0. It takes that extra. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start an adjustment and make it. I wanted to make sure, because I'm just thinking about whether there could be something else going on. I don't think so. Yeah, so it's definitely hitting a physical stop at that point. And that is where I want those switches to open and close. But I think, there's a fair amount of tension on that switch. So let me go get a switch.
This camera is really good at zooming in.
Yeah, it gets pretty far, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks great. Now, if only David was see-through.
It would make my light work better if I was see-through as well.
All right, so you're adjusting to
Well,
make it.
there's actually 2 long blades with this nylon lifter between them. So I actually want to get both of them to just be a little away when we're at 1. I think that helps us get from 1 to 0 better. Oh, wait a minute.
And that's 0 where you're at now when it's pushing down at it?
That's 0. Oh, wait a minute. That's 0. Okay, hold on a second. That was picking up 2 notches. I'm thinking a little bit here.
Yeah. Old school EMs in the chat said the tension's causing the arms to move backwards before going forwards.
Yeah, but it's. Doesn't seem. Is it pulling back so far? Okay. So this was something I noticed earlier, and I think it's a factor. So we might have a lot of kind of tweaking to do. So
what
if you
is
bring
it?
in, you see this flap of the bracket. You see how it's bent?
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be bent. And it's letting the plunger come out too far and travel too far. And at the bottom part here, it's hard to see. I mean, this is where it catches. It's actually cocking back, and it catches. It goes over 2 teeth.
Huh.
At least at 0, it's doing that. So I'm gonna bend that and hope that, you know, over the life of this game, it hasn't been bent so many times that it's gonna start
Snap off.
Hey. As I'll pray to the pinball gods. Yeah, you bend it forward and then the plunger won't go as far out, which is
right, and so the whole pawl won't travel as far. And I'm trying to do it without taking the whole thing out of the game. Let me see if I can just get in there with this. Do a little bending.
use your teeth.
Oh, my face definitely won't fit in there. But
Oh, just a little bendy.
everyone see, this is the wrong use of a crescent wrench, but it's actually the reason I carry it the most is I use it as a bending tool.
Mm.
Because I have wrenches for everything else I have to do, unless I hit like something metric or something. But I think I've just got stuff in my way. No, it's not bent enough. You know what? Let's just unmount it. I think it's there. Okay. Can I turn this
Taking
off
it
so I
off.
can make a noise every time I walk by? There.
What else?
Especially, let's see, I'm gonna, oh, so the camera wouldn't be on my face anyway. So especially working on an electromechanical, whenever I'm dealing with hardware under the playfield, I put a towel down.
Oh,
Because
yes.
when you drop a screw, not only do you want to be able to find it, it's going to short something out. You know, when you're working on a solid state game, there might be nothing down there. And so not only is it easy to find your screw when you drop it, it's probably not going to cause a different problem if you don't find it. In electromechanical, it's so often, you know, shorting out a switch,
Right.
or it gets buried in some stack of switches under in the motor, and you're just looking forever.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Good pro tip. Oh yeah, and prevent solder splashing.
Yes.
No.
Well, you can, if you look at my rag,
Dripping.
I don't know, you can,
Is
if
is
you
it
look down at the
super?
rag, this is my solder splash rag.
Oh my gosh, look how
And
sparkly.
it's not used, that's not solder splash just from the bottom of the cabinet. It's like, I'll tuck it in wherever I need to.
Sure.
And yeah, that one, it's gotten some use. And I think this is gonna create it. Okay. Now, actually, comes down enough, I can stay on this side maybe? No, probably. So I don't know, can you get a better angle on that now? If you look, you can see it's really bent. There now.
Beard power. Yep.
See that? So
Uh,
come in here. Okay.
oh, okay.
Yeah, this one's straight now.
Wow, you did that
Let's,
so quickly once it was removed.
I know, I tried, at some point you go, all right, this will go fast if I just take a little time to make it easy.
Right.
So now,
Oh, poor dog, I'm sure.
so that's all the way down. The switches are open. If I step it up one, Oh, it almost catches the second tooth, but doesn't.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
good.
I don't think it took it all the way up a step.
How does it get so bent far back? Just over time?
I don't know how it got like that. That was someone doing the wrong thing.
Mm,
It doesn't, I don't think it gets, I mean, it's not getting pressure from the coil. It's the coil
yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is
releasing.
it? Mm.
It's not stepping down now. Let's see. Oh, if I snap it, it does.
You just have like a small person inside the machine manually stepping it for you. Put them on the clock.
I'm going to check how many winds this has. 2 and 3 should be plenty.
Whoa.
Don't want to add that. There's a place where it's hanging up a little bit. I am going to grease these teeth a little. You know, I should have put the tools on that side. Clearly, I got this on the wrong side.
So for those of y'all just joining in, we are working on an old Chicago at Lynn's Arcade. David Volansky, our grumpy EM doctor, is here to save the day and teach us all about grease. The importance of grease. Not too much grease, just the right amount of grease goes a long way.
And you can, so you, if you look, I mean, this is a black colored grease. I put a little bit in there and I'm just going
Yeah.
to run it a few times to spread it out. Because that'll,
Okay. Yeah, and do you want to just go ahead and give a shout out of what grease in particular you're using right now for
so
this?
the black grease I'm using is automotive CV grease. I bought it. I had bought it at O'Reilly before. This was something I got on Amazon, but it's just black automotive CV grease. It's not a synthetic anything. It's, I don't know. The stuff I used on the wiper is a grease that I buy from Pinball Resource.
Nice.
I know that isn't Marco, but
All
we
in the
decided
same.
I was going to test some of the Marco stuff, but that's I
Yeah.
know the PBR is what I use on this on the wiper boards. That is
Nice.
good.
Yeah, if
We
it
just got a
works
full
and
run
gets
of
the
up and
pin
down.
running, it's great.
Okay. I'm just doing one last check to see if the switches at the high limit are good. All right, I think we're going to remount this.
Nice.
And
Yeah, it looks pretty smooth.
we'll see how if it's acting. I don't think it's going to resolve all the problems, but I'm hoping it does some of it. Oh, wow. I might take Matt with me everywhere.
Right?
I'm gonna do the bottom first to see it. Right there.
Old school EM
Yeah, I
said,
thought
also
oh,
don't forget to lube the main shaft and all the metal on the metal pivot points.
yeah, so I was gonna try to not do a full service of the stepper, but in talking with Matt before we had started, it does not have grease in all the places that I would have put it. So we may end up having to do that still.
Mm.
Let's see, why is it not lined up on the wall? That is. Oh, okay.
I need grease for tomorrow. Gotta add it to my list. Not horse grease.
Not horse grease. Of course they use horse grease.
All right. And
That's
then
reserved for the playfield.
you only have to forget it a few times. And it's
What's up, Captain
on
Santabar?
Gottlieb games. Don't leave your rag there
Weirding
when you
out.
turn the game back on. There's on a Gottlieb game, the motor turns this way.
Right.
It'll just grab it in
Oh,
your.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So picking that up every time.
Pull your cloth out.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Money shot.
Let's try it with the playfield out.
Okay.
Maybe we'll, if we can see what it's doing. So it's funny because I thought it was doing that before because the ball was here.
right.
Ball's not here.
Right.
Oh, and it went to game over. Okay, so let me make sure we're all caught up here. With the playfield up, the ball out of the game, I turned it on, and it scored 1,000 points 5 times, and it advanced the ball in play unit, and we're at game over now. That was really weird.
Wow. Three, 4, 5.
Okay,
At least it's consistent.
I have a theory. I think we have 1,000-point switch closed somewhere, and that's making it act like the ball's in play, even though it's not. So again, just a theory, but this isn't a scripted show.
That's happened on my cherry bell.
Okay.
One of my rollovers was stuck down.
Yeah.
And it did the same thing.
Okay.
And I just luckily found it by just like looking at it and be like,
Yeah.
oh, you're down.
Yeah.
It was wax in there.
So the first thing that jumps out at me is when the playfield was swapped, there's 1,000-point rollover at the top that it hasn't been sort of cleaned out and installed yet. So I want to see, is that switch closed maybe? So you know what? Let's turn the game off. Be extra safe today so no one sees me jump.
Gosh. Pez also said the spinner's in the wrong position with the playfield up. Would that affect the scoring when you turn it on?
That would do it, but that's a good point. But and actually, I wanted to adjust the spinner and have that be a topic of discussion before we're done.
Cool.
But because it was also doing this with the playfield down,
Right.
and the spinner would have been advancing these lights. I don't think it was. Well, first of all, I'm looking at a switch here. That's open. All right, so the spinner's actually open. So it's not the first two most obvious things. Also, let's point this out now so people are going to see it. You'll see there's a wire hanging here.
Oh,
When
what is that
playfield
for?
was changed, rather than run the unshielded braid as the common for lamps, they've actually got this black wire run. So it looks a little different than other games. I think he's left this on because he might have felt he had one more thing to get to. I don't know, but I'm just gonna kind of leave that alone. but it does look a little different than other games you might be used to seeing. And, let's see. So now I need to look at the play field to remind myself of what scores 1,000 points. We have
And
spin,
PDX pinball
switches,
and Frisbee said the drop targets aren't resetting either. It's like, or the drops are
they're
trying to
reset right
reset.
now.
They
Well-
reset, but they keep trying. They keep trying to keep.
Okay. Well, there's 3 stand-up targets right now that are 1,000 points. Actually, I might do these from the top.
Mount it to your head.
Mount the camera to my head. I've thought about doing something like that for streaming. Oh my God.
Beautiful game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you want to
Yeah,
rubber
so
band?
the
Got one.
stand-ups, the 3 stand-ups are the ones that score 1,000 points. 2 at the top, 1 on the left side. This piss. How do they look?
First 2 looked okay. This one is very stuck closed.
Ooh. Very stuck closed?
I think it's got these have just 2 blades or 3? No, that comes away from that. Just right here. Once I get a good look, we'll bring the camera in and I'll show you what I'm looking at. But
We got lots of RT shots. Oh, there's mine. There's the awesome lineup at Lynn's, everybody. Go play.
let me
You
put
can, you leave now, you can make it to their Thursday night strikes. That starts at 7:30?
30.
7:30.
actually here. If you want to bring the camera in, I'm gonna just put like a piece of tape in here for now. But let's see, I'm gonna need this.
Reel it out.
So wow. I
Ooh.
there's sort of a blade that the target is attached to, and then behind it there are 2 contacts, but there's also there's a potential space between the front blade and the middle. It looks a little different. I'm just not even sure how it's wired up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in that gap for now and see if this is the source of our problem. Did that make sense?
Yes.
So it doesn't make contact.
Yeah, the thing I suspect could be making the contact, I want to just block that. It looks like it's a switch where there's 3 parts and it might be coming together, but these 2 are already together. I'm not even sure if that's it, but let's do that to start. There and there. That one was fine. And the rollovers at the bottom are 1,000. Let's take a look at those as well. This is closed.
It's closed?
Yep. And this is good. So I'm almost certain it's this now and not the stand.
Does the
I put my tools down over there. So if you want to come in and take a look at that. Oh, I'm still in the
Come on in. Whoa.
cables in the way. So
We're looking at
something to point out here for people that might not be as familiar with
So there were
electrical.
yeah,
you've
the
got-
stand-ups just closed.
So there's a rollover switch for
A rollover switch.
it's the drain to the right of the right flipper. And you can see there's two switches that are moving.
Oh gosh. No.
And the bottom one is stuck closed. Can you see that?
Oh, so
Oh,
close,
it's not-
almost.
wait.
You're
Okay,
gonna
now
get
it's
it.
working.
Nice.
So
Okay.
you see how and the lights, let me see. Now that I can see what's going out.
Oh, this is great. Okay.
Okay, you see how the top switch, it's opening and closing? The
Yeah.
bottom one is stuck closed.
Oh yeah. Okay. I
Now,
see.
I
Yeah.
have to look at the schematic, or maybe someone even knows the game. I know Old Chicago, I just can't think. Okay, on an electromechanical game, when the ball needs to activate two things, you can't have one switch that does two things. I mean, it depends on the circuit, but
Mhm.
in this case, there are two switches. One of them is going to score 1,000 points. The other one,
Advances
special
bonus.
when lit or extra ball when lit.
Special.
So
Yeah, Pez said special.
yeah,
The
so
other
the
is to score
circuit
the
that we
special.
do the extra ball,
Thanks, Pez.
you need to use a different switch than the one that's doing the 1,000 points. I mean, we could sit down and look at schematics and talk about that, but if you tried to put two features on one switch, you'd end up with like a circuit that came back through that switch to something else potentially. There are times you'll find a switch with a branch after that switch where it does two things, but in this case, I'd have to study the schematic to figure out why they would do it that way. But that was not going to be okay. So I'm going to need to stand on that side so that I can see it as good as the camera to do the adjustment. Maybe you can shoot over my shoulder. It's
not necessarily we can see exactly, but
now at some point, I'm hoping we do a switch adjustment today where I can talk about white and get a good clip. Emoto knows that every time we do one of these online clinics, I'm standing there in front of the camera with my fingers because I'm sitting at my desk and I'm doing this. And I'm like, I just got to get a good shot of this adjustment.
Zoom in,
but this
zoom
is
in.
not a good example. It's too tight in here. There's stuff in the way.
No, we can see it's actually a pretty good shot. You know,
All
until
right. So
hands there.
two switches start open
You, you.
and we close. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm going to even take this tape out of here. I don't think that's the problem. I think that was our problem. And we were testing with the play field up. We can try again.
Alrighty. Boop, 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 boop.
I guess I should have
Great
left the
shot.
tape there.
yeah.
All right, let me try and get that tape.
Always the fun part, trying to find where you put stuff down.
I had a foil I was using. Oh, I was on this side.
Ship it. Right. I'm gonna go for the money shot. Adjusting from the top. Oh, putting the
Yeah, I just want
tape
to
in there.
force this open that way
Wait,
with,
what do you do?
well, if this is it, I'll explain what I did. I,
You jamming it?
oh, I'm trying to get a piece of tape between something that's jammed closed. Where if I have to, if this is the problem, I'll have to unmount the switch to be able to get in there good enough to fix it.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
Hello, Abe Phipps. Welcome. We are working on Old Chicago
Counting up.
at
Okay,
Lynn's
we still
Arcade.
have,
Okay.
oh, it was adding bonus too.
Yeah, just counting up.
Mm,
It is adding bonus. It was adding bonus and does it
And
do it
story.
fast? Does it?
yes, indeed.
So what adds bonus? This adds bonus. This adds bonus. These. No, they're 3,000. So this adds bonus.
And the spinner when it gets to.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's take a look at. Well, actually, this wasn't kicking. See this, I think this kicks at the same as this. I think they're tied together. Let me see.
Spinner, lower red switch, upper lit lane adds bonus. Says Pez Johnson.
So let's check. We'll see what the spinner's doing. This guy and still got that one. Well, you just said it, Remoto, you said,
Yeah, spinner, lower red switch, upper lit lane.
really? It doesn't say it does that.
Oh.
I mean, the playfield just says 3,000 when and it's not scoring 3,000. I'm not hearing that ding, ding, ding,
No.
ding, ding, ding. So I'm gonna, is that people the cup paper? Yeah, okay.
Spinner adds bonus on completion of the 5 lights.
That's that little.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna look at that. So first off, might as well look at these rollovers. That's open and that's open. And the wires. Fine. Stepper and this guy. That's open. Okay. Let's see what this stepper is doing. So I'm just going to look at how the mechanism works first, and then I'll explain something.
Okay.
But I'm thinking there's got to be a switch that closes at some point. Or are they going off just the wiper? Yeah, I think they're going off just the wiper. So this mechanism, if you actually look at it, it's kind of it's a score reel. It's they take the reel off. They have different, or they have 2 wipers. I think one of these is the same wiper you have in a score reel. And then there are contacts that touch each the plate. Each of these wiper plate. I don't know what to call it. This one with 5 colors on it. This is the lights. And you can see like the first 3 are attached to the first 5 are attached to the second 5. It's a 10-stepper and it just goes around and around. This is the one that says, well, when you've done all of them, this must be what does the 1,000 points. So is it somehow shorted? Does not look like it is. I don't think that's the problem.
The plot thickens.
I'm tempted to unplug the playfield and see what it does. Because it might be something on the bottom board. It's unlikely, but while we're here, let's go ahead and do that.
Has said, have we checked the game after adjusting the red stand-up or the outlane switch?
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, that's what we turned it on and it was still doing the exact same thing, right? Stepping up to 5,000.
Yeah. So it's something on the playfield.
Something
I didn't
on
realize
the
you could
playfield.
unplug the playfield and then.
There are certain games where it won't let you reset with the playfield unplugged. If it's checking the state of certain things on the playfield.
Mm.
But I figured it was worth a try.
So you unplug every single of those big wafer connectors?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we can. There were
Yeah,
3
look
Jones plugs
down there.
for this, and one thing we did actually before we even got on camera
Hey, that's me.
is I had changed something when we got here, and I thought I would highlight this for the group anyway. So
I see.
this cable that comes out the back of the playfield,
Yes.
you can see it's kind of going up and out of the way, and then it comes back down to get plugged in. In the head of this game, and maybe we can take the camera around there. In the head of this game, there is a white rubber ring like you would have on the playfield that's actually mounted at the opening of the neck of the game. It is to hold this cord out of the way. So
Okay.
we actually ran this cord through that ring so that it stays up off the bottom board. So I think Matt's going to bring the camera around just so you can see real quick.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
In this case, yeah. In this case, the cord going up into the head is also in that ring. That's not necessary, but if I pull on it here, you can see.
Oh wow. Is that like a standard?
Yeah.
Or is that
Yeah,
oh wow.
did that. There's you can see there's like a little mount of P clamp. Is it a P clamp?
And it's just straight up like a 5-inch ring, rubber ring.
Yeah, down below there's a white rubber ring. Yeah. Okay. And that's there from the factory. You can change the rubber ring when it gets bad, but it is there to hold the cord out of the way.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That's yeah.
Okay. Now we still. I'm going to check it again just because we changed. We did the joint. I'm going to go to the schematic and just double check that I know everything that does a bonus step up.
Oh, right.
So let's see. Demoto, if you want to pull up the schematic.
I do. Let's see. Wait, where did it go? Maybe I pull it. This one? No, this one. Why I don't see? Oh, there we go. Nope. Oh, weird. It's showing up on the stream, but not on that screen. What?
There. Is that?
There you go. Wait, why is it?
It came up. There it is.
Huh. Okay, let's see if that works. Cool.
So I am reading it at a 90-degree angle to you, but that's okay. If you go down to 33.
All right, let me pull you up forward. Let me get a shot of y'all. Okay, we're going down to 33. All right.
So there's a solenoid there, the bonus unit step up solenoid. You might want to zoom in on the right-hand side. Are you able to move it or
You
no?
see that? Oh yeah, there we go. To the far over here?
Yeah, a little more, or because otherwise the overlays are in front of it.
Oh,
That's
sure.
okay.
Let's
So
I'll hide you.
this is funny. This actually documents that left target switch does have 3 blades, though it only uses 2 of them. So there's that. The top hole relay, which I should look at. I'll see if that switch is stuck closed or something. And I say it that way, the top hole switch is okay. But if the relay has a switch on it that's stuck closed, that's going to cause the problem. I looked at the spinner. I don't think it's there. The 3-5 ball adjustment has some relationship to the 300 relay, which would be part of that lit top lane.
The 3000 relay.
And then the out hole relay. But since this didn't happen with the playfield unplugged, let's see, is the top hole relay on the play? It is. I'm going to look at blue, orange, blue, red. Go in. It's wide open. That is not the problem. I'm going to see when we turn it on, are there relays that are turning on?
The top hole also the top hole eject advances bonus as well.
Oh, let's see. The out hole relay is turning on,
Yeah,
which is very weird.
Ball index.
There's no ball in the out. Ball index is turning on because we're scoring.
Okay.
So what I'm going to try this time, actually, when I'm ready, can you do the start button? I hold the out hole relay open.
Whoa.
Does not happen. So the out hole relay is energizing for some reason, and that's causing it. Now we have to find out why it's energizing. Let me make sure everyone's caught up. So on the schematic, we could see there was a switch on the out hole relay that, in conjunction with the motor turning, which is probably happening because of another switch on the out hole relay, it will advance the bonus. The out hole relay should not be turning on. Why is it turning on? Now, if we, I'm going to go ahead and look at the schematic just to make sure there isn't something other than the out hole that would do it. So, Emoto, if you want to try and follow along, I'm jumping back to the index.
Okay.
Where I can find out where the out hole relay coil is documented, and it says F22. And so I'm going to go out to 22.
Okay, 22. And then F would, oh, I see. F22. So on the far right side where it says C section.
It is actually not. It is
25.
not the out hole switch that does it. This is interesting. So the out hole relay. Let's see. Is it on the screen now? Right. So if you follow the path right from the out hole relay and you go to the right, it's held on with an out hole relay, a switch on the out hole relay. So that's just a lock-in switch. But right, so if you, I'm going to follow. So Emoto, you see where you come from out hole relay, the coil, that one, right? And you come, that's not an intersection point. That's where the wire is flipping over. So you come a little further and now go up. So the out bonus score relay has a normally closed. Closed is probably good. The next one, bonus unit 0. So the bonus unit, it goes to 0 to start a new game, but then steps up 1. And when it steps up, that switch should be opening. And I'm wondering if it's not.
Okay.
So that is around the other side. Let's see.
Are y'all able to follow along with that in the chat with the schematics?
Let's get the play field.
Let's go shot. Look at all of that. More or less, yeah. Yeah, as we go along, y'all, if you have any questions or want David
I
to
didn't adjust this
re-explain
when I was
something,
down here,
then
but it may have still been, it may have been the problem when we got here as well. So if you want to get a good look at these switches, so there's a regular, normally closed switch, which is closed when you're advanced here, and it's opening just fine. The bottom switch here is a make break, and the bottom,
This last one.
no, it's this set of these 3 blades right here. This bottom is never opening.
Oh,
It should be open now.
yeah.
it should be open right now.
Sorry. Yeah, it should be open now when we're not at 0.
And then closed when it is at 0.
I opened it a little too far. we're adjusting my back now, and then
Actually, we could do.
it's very close there. It's okay. Let's turn it on and see what happens there.
Nice.
Okay. Now we might be back to where we were before. Let's see.
So did it step up to 5,000 points again? Because we can't see the play.
It only
Oh
gave
no,
it
no! When I
1,000.
started a new game, it
Oh,
moved the bonus to 1, like it's supposed to. It
okay.
also scored 1,000 points, which it's not supposed to. So I'm still
Gotcha.
thinking about that. But why is that doing it?
Supposed to collect bonus and it's adding.
It's added?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then this not doing anything.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, the noise cancellation. I wonder if I turn this mic on. Wait, is that a mic? Maybe we can do. See if we get any weird echoing with this mic on too, y'all. Shouldn't, but you might be able to hear like the chimes and score reel this way. Just a bit.
So when you close the output switch, it should be this unit 0. This unit is not at 0. Did I adjust that switch where it's only open? Let's see. Can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is not adjusted right still. Please, next all the way. Closes.
There's just too many stacked on top of each other. It's chaos. That sandwich is too big.
No, I see what switch wasn't adjusted. Okay.
Okay.
If this works, I'll bring the camera in. I'll show you what I did. Okay, and then it's
Money shot?
so it's now acting. I think we're getting an extra 1,000 points still, but let's see. I think it might be.
M. Kunzelman said we remember to check the screws before adjusting, right? The screws on the score.
I can't.
Wheel?
No, I didn't.
He goes, no, I didn't. Is it like a tightening screw or something?
Yeah, to
What?
do the stacks. They're not the that's not the problem. They'll go tighter, but they weren't really loose.
Oh, the screws on the actual switch stack.
The switch stack.
Gotcha.
No, it was when that first switch that I adjusted. I was adjusting the bottom blade, the bottom of the make brake. I can't even tell which is the normally closed. It's a weird, but the top one was never closed. So now they're opening and closing as they should.
Yeah.
I think we're moving along. Okay. Need started anything? Okay, we know with double bonus when I drain, it's going to add. So let's just make sure that's still happening, but that'll be the thing we can celebrate. So let's try and attack that problem next. The extra 1,000 points, I'm going to figure that out last. It's not stopping us from moving on. Okay.
Just extra bonus.
I want to look at the schematic for that.
All right.
So again, we're looking at, was it 33, right? And we're looking at bonus, step up.
$33.
There's nothing about this that should be happening.
So
Because,
33 delta section.
Well, okay, so I pulled out the schematic and now we'll have a talk for a second because here's the problem. So the game is doing something it's not supposed to be doing. The schematic kind of doesn't help you there because something is shorter. The schematic is really good when something isn't, when you're not able to complete the circuit and you're trying to find out what switches are supposed to be closing to do this. So in this situation, I mean, drain the ball, double bonus. I can look at the double bonus circuit to be reminded of how it works, but the fact that it's adding bonus when it's not supposed to, there's a short somewhere. And it's so strange. It's only happening with double bonus. So let's see. Is there a double bonus relay?
If there's a short somewhere, could it be something like solder dripped somewhere and it's
Oh,
hidden?
yes. And, you know, there was a playfield swap.
Yeah.
So, with a different neutral running, it's not neutral because it's AC, but
It was all,
Yeah.
that's the ground for the lights, was all the black.
right, but that could do something.
Mhm.
Okay, so all right, so there isn't first I'm looking at the index. There isn't a double bonus relay that jumps out at me. So my thought process is, well, there's a light that turns on when you're going to do double bonus. What turns that light on? It's a part of the schematic. I can scan pretty quickly. So the double bonus light,
Hello, y'all.
wow. It's just tied to the ball count wiper. How? Yeah. So the
Which
light
section are
is
y'all looking in?
19.
yeah. So the double bonus light, it just goes with ball 3 and 5 or ball 1, 3, and 5, and there's an adjustment for it. But it doesn't really change the circuit. So there must be something about stepping down the bonus unit, because that when you're scoring the bonus, you're stepping it down. So the bonus unit reset solenoid is at 42. So I'm looking at 42 now.
Oh, all the way down to 42.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. They do this whole sort of one thing versus another using the ball count unit disc. That's really amazing. All right. This is not a simple circuit. Give me just a moment here.
Way better.
So, I mean, logically, what this circuit is supposed to be doing, right, is it's regulating how quickly it's going to step down, and it's going to step down at sort of half speed during double bonus. So that's that. I mean, that's what this circuit does. Is it just manages the stepping down. So I don't know. You know, let me look at some of the wiring. Right? Again, the schematic is a weird place to find this, but this is going to be tough. I don't know how well this is going to work on a stream. Watching David think. Let me get my mic here.
We're
Any idea in
figuring
the
it
chat?
out together.
What's that?
I said we're figuring it out together.
That's what I'm looking like the wiring. So I'm just want to look at the switches on the out. Bonus or relay. You know what there's going to be to look at here yet.
So for those who are just joining the stream, Matthew, can you give a quick rundown of what's going on with Old Chicago and where we're at?
So we're at the point where we're starting a game, gives us 1,000 points. But then you drain, it gives you your bonus, goes to ball 2, does the same thing. Once it gets to ball 3, the double bonus light comes on, you drain the ball, and instead of counting down the bonus, it actually is counting the bonus back up in Old Chicago in the middle of the playfield. So it's adding bonus as opposed to giving you double, but it's also giving you points. So we're trying to figure out why it builds the bonus as opposed to takes the bonus down and then finishes the ball. So it's not even finishing ball 3. It's just like builds up the bonus to max and then just keeps adding points. And apparently,
Sorry, I'm just going to need to think about it a little bit.
we're flexing David's brain.
It's a good one. It's a good puzzle, right? Every game repair is like a puzzle. I feel like
Yeah,
you get little hints and
it's fun and kind of frustrating both at the same time.
right?
And when you figure out the puzzle, it's like the greatest feeling in the world. But then when you don't figure out,
Absolutely.
you're just stuck with the puzzle.
Missing that one puzzle piece that fell on the floor under the
Yeah,
rug. Oh.
yeah. David was saying about the circuit that like slows down the bonus count, so it gives you 2 per bonus light as opposed to 1. Which I looked at it, I'm lost. No idea. Needed to.
I'm just going to look. I want to reproduce our problem. I want to see if the alcohol relay is turning on when it's supposed to be, because it should stay off while it's collecting.
Okay.
And if it's turning on, that would explain adding, and then I should be troubleshooting that instead. So here's all one. You know that happened.
There it goes.
The alcohol relay is not turning on.
It's not doing what?
The alcohol relay is not turning on. Because that's one of the things that would be added bonus.
Okay.
But it is correctly staying off. Exactly. Looking one more time at this stack of switches again. No, I'm gonna move it around a lot. Actually, you know what? Let's get the problem happening. I want to see if there are relays that are turning on and off. And of course, I have to let's get back to play.
Oops.
So no. So we now I'm going to drain ball three. So I'm looking for are these turning on or what's happening down there. So it's interesting. It stops if I don't hold the out hold switch.
Yeah.
That helps. The out hold switch is
The outhold bonus is 12.
the out hold score.
Yeah.
Is that
Up top.
that is the over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't know the-
Yeah, it'll stop on its own. They're
That's a good.
yeah, but I didn't look at it when it was happening.
Light. The light up there turns on.
There's looking for well, I'll
There we go. Sorry about that.
let's stick with this.
So close to figuring it out.
You went to Korea Square.
Let's take a look at the 3-5 ball adjust, which I think is going to be that plug.
There's your.
First of all, is this the 3-5 ball adjust? It's not labeled. Nope. Think it is. Here's a 3-5 ball adjust. And there's the 3.5 bonus. I see. Emoto, I'm also in the back of my mind trying to debate, do we move to a different game? Because looking for a short. I mean,
Yeah, so
I'll
that's
share the
basically
schematic
what you
till
are,
we're
like
done
you're
later.
look
But looking for a
that's
short is not an interesting screen.
No, yeah, sure. So that's where we're at, is trying to find a short.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
besides just
I just,
manually
I mean,
looking at it with your eyes, are there other ways? Advice like,
well, I mean, I'm going to start. It's just that it could take a lot more. Oh, we have 20 minutes left. Maybe we do just
Just go over there.
stay here.
Oh,
You think
yeah.
maybe do? So what's the other one doing? And maybe it is it quicker.
Not fully starting a game, like not resetting everything and then not like starting.
So just the hardest thing
Yeah.
for the game to have to do. Yeah. The cruel irony of electromechanical pinball machines.
Yeah.
They like you get a game and the first thing you want to do is start a game, and getting it to do that is the hardest thing to troubleshoot.
right.
I mean,
I bet there's
we
a
could take a
short.
look at it and see if it's going to be something quick. Because really, looking for a short, like on my feet, I'm not even good at thinking of the techniques I'm going to use. We'll start disconnecting wires,
Right.
tracing wires down. But
Mm,
like, I mean, clearly this is being stepped up when it shouldn't. But you know, disconnecting this is just going to make it stop stepping up. That's
Right.
not the answer. So I have to kind of look at the schematic. Where does that wire go? And then start finding places where we can kind of narrow in on where the problem may be.
Right.
And what we're going to find. I mean, it's not jumping out at me the schematic. I mean, we might find a solder splash,
Right.
or something like that. We might find a wire that ended up in the wrong place.
mm,
We might find something like a make break switch that's all like make it's all together,
Right.
and it does stuff like this.
Yeah.
But I'm nothing is so immediate that it could take hours. So I don't think it's going to be an interesting
Right.
thing to watch. So if we want it, we can try the other game. It's right there.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Um,
take a few minutes on the other game, and then however this turns out, I can let Emoto know, and we can decide what we want to do for content.
time lapse. So a question in the chat from Dwayne was, when this happens, does it add points on the score reels and also add old Chicago bonus lights? It was
Yes.
just get an update about the symptoms.
Yeah, but we also have this problem where when you start a new ball and it steps up the bonus like it's supposed to, it's scoring 1,000 points, which it's not supposed to.
Mm.
So there is something there. And maybe it's related. But it steps down the bonus fine when you're not in double bonus, which is like, that is so strange. I mean, we could just unplug this and have it never do double bonus, and then you can
Maybe play.
we can try. Let's see if that. I mean, I am not going to leave
A little quick fix.
But let's see what is. It gives 1,000. Why didn't it step down?
It's a master.
Wow. There's something really wrong here.
What is
So,
it?
for those of you watching, um, so I tried to unplug the double bonus configuration from the ball 3 and 5 and the ball 1, 3, and 5. So normally you would have it in one or have it in the other. And I mean, I didn't really look at the schematic to see if I could have it just unplugged. And that might be a very invalid kind of thing. But I just unplugged that, and man, it really, that was not going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Wait.
dependent on.
What happened when you unplugged it?
It wouldn't step down the bonus,
Mm.
and yeah, it wouldn't step down the bonus ever. That might be understandable. Let's see.
Back to the schematic.
Got to. The master sheet. The schematic has most of the
Step
answers.
down the bonus. It's using that configuration and just deciding which motor switches are part of it. So you have to have it plugged in one or the other, or it's not getting any more.
So if we put it on 1, 3, and 5, it would fall one.
Yeah, well, all one would have the.
So one would have the same issue.
Let's see. Use power signal. Save people around. And of course, that's not doing what I want. Okay. So 1-player game, first ball. From here, it's double bonus. So yeah, we're gonna step away from this one.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to step away from the.
Well, I was also gonna say, we'll go do something else, and when we come back, we'll have a whole new set of ideas, and I'll
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it'll be after we're done streaming, and we'll report back.
We'll do a recap.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let's
because we want to know what the end result is. We want to
oh yeah.
leave us on a cliffhanger. All right, here's a quick little tour of Lynn's epic 40 plus games on free play with some sort of tournament almost every night during the week. Maybe Monday night league, Tuesday night tutorials where they're live streaming on Lynn's Arcade on Twitch. Sometimes Dry 374 comes in and streams. They do women's Wednesday nights, Thursday night strikes. They're pretty crazy, y'all. The what's your all day rate again, Matthew?
One more time.
Your all day rate? What's your free play admission rate?
$15.
15 bucks to get in. You get 40 plus games of every era of pinball, plus like
Every.
100 of
I'm sorry.
125
I'm here from the
something
Pacific
beer.
Pinball Museum.
Oh
This is not every
no.
era of pinball.
We just got called out. And every single type of beer possible known to man.
There you go.
Right. We got it all, people.
Like you're missing some holes. Yeah. Colin Baxter, you definitely want to make it out there someday. Be right down your alley. Turin says he's coming for the butter beer.
So, by the way, we're now in dealer's choice.
All right, dealer's
You hit
choice.
the start button, and it doesn't. It sort of advances the score wheels trying to do it, but it doesn't really start a game. So we're just going to see what is.
I noticed with EM repair, there's lots of just staring,
No, at
like
this point,
silent staring.
I'm trying to read this. I'm trying to read the labels on the
Yeah.
relays, but they put the label under all the switches. So from that side of the game, I can't see anything. From here, I can barely do it. So
So yeah, it doesn't kick out the ball when you hit start.
Yeah, it doesn't initiate a game. All the way.
Seeing eye puzzle. Yeah, you have to do the thing where you like cross your eyes and slowly move backwards so you can see the 3D effect. Colin said game over relay? Question mark.
So, the weird thing is the game over relay on this is a trip latch. So it's 2 coils.
Mm.
And when I try to, I never remember which one's trip and which one's latch. Oh, here it's labeled. When I try to latch it, the trip energizes.
And it's not supposed to do that?
Oh, and it's not doing it now. It was doing it earlier. Is it in free play? Let me just check the credits, make sure.
Is there an easy way to tell when a game, like an EM is on free play or to put it on free play, or is it different for
So
every generation and system?
putting it on free play is easy. There is there's a credit unit in the head that displays how many credits you have left.
Right.
And
Okay.
people are pretty familiar with seeing that. When it gets to 0, there's a switch or several switches that open. You close the correct one of those switches, the one that's in line with the replay button in the front of the cabinet, and that's how you put it in free. So
Ah,
it's the simplest thing. It's a switch on the replay unit that opens at 0. And I say there's more than one. Some games, this one has it. There's a little light here.
Oh yeah.
In the apron.
Right.
It turns on when you have credit. This one is not on. It might just be a bad bulb. I mean, like no one ever cares. But when you get back to the credit unit and you want to turn it on to free play, you can just do both switches and you'll have this light on all the time. Or you can look at the schematic or whatever, you figure out which one it is. So putting in free play is very easy. I'm not sure if this one already was done. I just wanted to be able to try it again. So of all the steppers, that's the one you can just kind of like turn it by hand and add a bunch of credits.
oh, gotcha.
But that was not my problem. Let's see. Get hard.
For all the errors that
Switches
matters.
are not doing it. So now this was. Oh, we're in a game. That's why
We're in
I
a
wouldn't do it.
game. Pez says, do you check to see if the motor is in home position?
Yeah, that was it. When we were already in a game, we already had 4 players. That's why we did it.
Hello, blind immortal. Welcome, welcome. Cool emotes.
Yeah.
Thanks for the follow.
Oh, that's moving very slowly. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So the stepper, which one is that?
Just the player.
I think that's the player. So once you've added extra players, yeah, but so that's also not something I can do in 5 minutes.
No.
But we'll have a stepper back here to work on. So getting from a multiplayer game back to a one-player game, it's just not going to happen. So it's done by hand now. So let's see. Are we? Okay.
It like gets stuck.
Yeah, it was like not. It doesn't really move.
Because it needs to be cleaned.
Very much so.
All right. This is also not going to be a 5-minute fix. Oh well. I guess that's how some of these sessions go, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, with Kyle, sometimes we'd take weeks and weeks on one game.
Yeah, I was kind of
as we work on it.
And thinking maybe for some of these, I have to kind of know, I have to look at the game more before.
Yeah.
And see what we're getting into because, yeah.
Or we could do, like micro
People got to watch me think.
Well, no, yeah, it's good problem solving and, following what to do next, what the next step is in the thought process.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll go back to Old Chicago and we'll work on that. And then I'll give you some ideas on this one.
Cool.
I think this is pretty far.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I thought it was going to be like a score wheel wasn't turning, but no, this looks like this hasn't worked in a while. Is that right?
Like it worked at one point and then it's been packed up and like.
Well, they all work at one.
Right.
Okay.
So we had it in league at work.
Oh, you've had it in league? Okay. So you've had it recently.
Years ago.
Okay.
Like once it broke, we kind of packed it up and then we got distracted with other stuff.
Okay. So this one might have one thing we just need to find. That stepper is going to need service.
Absolutely.
But this might just have one thing with a playfield swap. I mean, there could be something there. I don't want to point a finger yet. I mean, but that's kind of what happens after a playfield swap. Is now you find what it is. Yeah. I will admit I've never done a playfield swap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've just it always seemed daunting.
Yeah.
And then I go, do it. Yeah. I'm like, then I come fix it. So we'll see.
Exactly.
You can fix it. But maybe I can do it. It's just I've also not had like the right opportunity where I had a perfect life. Right. All right. Well, I don't know, Emoto. Do you want to try and do
Don't
anything
leave
else
us.
for 5 minutes?
Yeah, are you leaving right now?
Maybe.
Okay.
So Abracadabra.
Yeah.
Get through ball 5.
Yeah.
Once you get to ball 5, it ends the game, but still kicks the ball in the front.
Oh. You don't have a paper schematic on that one either.
Maybe actually I might have one in there. Never know.
Schematics
Let's
for
see if
all
we
your
have that.
games.
What's that?
Schematics for all your games. Paper manuals, paper schematics.
Paper manuals, people buy them.
The reason I hesitate is there's a few different ways that Gottlieb did it.
Oh, okay.
And we probably
We're just moving on, y'all.
need to get in the head. Yeah, let's see. Oh, yeah. So let me see if we're going to need to get in the head.
Like the holy grail when you open it up and then
Yes.
schematic at the side.
That's how it should be.
So Emoto, you don't have this. I don't know. Is there a camera on the playfield? Can you see?
Yeah, I can. Let me switch to that. I should be able to see. Ooh, well, I mean, I can quickly pull up a Abracadabra.
Okay.
I'm sure our epic resource, IPDB.org, has it.
No, it's not on IPDB. It's Gottlieb.
Okay. I must. I'll go full screen on yours.
So, I mean, you might be able to use the overhead camera.
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Okay.
Let's see what you got.
So, look, the the ball return coil fires off when the motor turns and the O relay is energized. The O relay, ball return switch, that makes sense. So something is turning on the O relay that should be different when you're at the 6th position ball unit, right? So this switch needs to open. Were you guys able to see all that? So
Sort of, yes.
again, the thought process here is ball return is firing. It's firing because the O relay is firing. The O relay will normally fire when the ball return switch. So when the ball drains, it's going to fire O. Something, and there's a bunch of normally closed switches. Okay, that's all happening. What is supposed to be open at that point? And I'm thinking it's this switch here, 6th position ball count unit, which 6 may actually be ball 5, because this game, when the ball is kicked from here to here, there's a switch under the playfield that advances the ball count unit. So when it shows 5, this switch should be open, and the next time the ball drains, it's not going to kick. So that's why we get in the head, and that could be a very quick and easy thing. Let's see. I'll let you do that.
We lost signal on your player cam too.
So, Moto, do you want to go a few minutes long?
Yeah, I'm game if y'all are. I know Matthew will need to open at some point his arcade.
Oh, is that fine? Or short?
We're gonna get you.
We're gonna get you. You want me to just unplug it from here? Yeah.
Where are we at? Where are we at?
Oh, wait, we still got boards in the front end and back and
Can't find them, y'all.
I think you still have a problem. I'm not gonna be able to get out of here.
Pez says look for the last ball relay. The last ball relay. Look at that beautiful playfield.
Yeah, just unplug Abracadabra. Okay.
Looks nice.
That's the one. Okay.
Matthew,
Yes.
can you check the score cam?
Oh, that's not.
Or the, sorry, not score cam, player cam?
There.
Player. All right. We're gonna get this one, y'all. Abracadabra. It's gonna be great. Next week is actually Houston Arcade Expo. So we will not be doing a official PinTech live.
I may still be here.
David might still be in there inside the games.
Looking for a short in old Chicago.
Yeah, trying to find that little lick of solder sticking somewhere. But yeah, we'll try to stream setup at Houston Arcade Expo. We are not exhibiting this year, but it is one of our favorite shows. So some of us Marco folks are still going down there to support and hang out with everyone. And I'll be there Thursday.
Oh, it's a single-sided.
Helping set up.
Is it? Yeah. No, it's not one. It's not one. It's
Oh,
The stream is dead. What are y'all doing? I need some shots.
I don't know why my little link guide. Give me 1 second.
oh, you want to get your camera
Yeah.
working first? Okay, I need a screwdriver.
You still have the googly eyes on his face. That's great.
Oh yeah. We're in a wheel.
There.
Here.
Now we're cooking with it.
Back here. The switch in question is on the ball count unit, but it's actually on the
Okay.
back side. So I've got to drop this down.
Thank
It
you.
is thankfully mounted on a hinge.
Mm.
So pull this screw out. And I've worked on games that have like a quick release here, like a little hairpin clip instead of a screw.
Oops.
Or even they made games for a while where they had like a little, like a pinch thing. You would
Yeah.
pinch something, it would drop.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I held as well as a screw. So they do a screw now. So let's see, when that's reset. And
Oh, this is not old Chico.
are you looking at this here? Because we're looking at this post and that switch right there. 1,
This is
2, 3,
Abracadabra.
4, 5, and it did not open that switch. And it doesn't go. Oh, it does. Oh, the 6th position. Oh, no. Yeah, I think that's 5. That's
Oh, it's probably missing the last thing.
well, no, it goes there. Is that the game over light?
Yeah, it really is.
Does it have to open that? No, that would make no sense. It can't.
Clever. So for those just joining in, we are looking at Abracadabra. We're in the back of the head.
Sorry, I'm looking at the schematic.
Back, checking the stepper unit.
Okay, I believe the problem is, see how that these are really kind of grungy, and there's one underneath that's kind of dirty. I think if I clean those, it'll work. Oh, try that. Let's see. Here's Stubby.
How do you clean it?
We're gonna show you.
So I don't know if this will solve the problem, but it is something I wanted to show. these Scotch-Brite pads. So I buy them by the big box. I mean, they come with
Yeah.
big giant sheets. I like to cut them in 3. This is sort of the size I like to work with.
Okay.
And it was really grungy.
Uh-oh.
I'm hoping that was the problem.
We lost signal. Your
Oh,
stream is like, no, we're good. What does that mean? Oh, hello again. Okay, so we sort of missed what you just did there, David. You just took the Scotch Brite
I was just
and
cleaning
just
the
scrubby inside.
I cleaned the contacts down here. The ones on top are used for the ball and play lights, but the ones down on the bottom there, they're actually part of a a solenoid circuit. They carry more current, and just want to get this a little bit mounted so it's not gonna try to run laying down. I'm going to leave that loose while we test it, because I might have to go in again. So, can that reach somewhere? Okay. I'm going to cheat here a little bit since we're running low on time. That's ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. I do want to have it do a little work here. Let's see. Sweet. No ball kicked out. Oh, there, I actually fixed one thing here today.
Yay. So can you
Yeah.
recap what just happened?
Yeah. It'd be good to show it on the schematic. You want to see. You put the rig there. I can stand to the side a little bit, or I'll straddle that. All right. So the original complaint, I'll let you. I won't touch the camera. So the original complaint was kicks out a ball at game over. So when you drain ball 5, it kicks out a ball. And I jumped to a conclusion that didn't turn out to be right. But so the ball return coil is with the O relay, which is out hole. And that was happening when it shouldn't. So what was going on? So my theory was, well, maybe we're not supposed to hit the out hole. So the out hole relay, so here we go. The ball drains, closes this switch, and turns on the out hole relay. The ball rolls when the ball drains, it rolls over, and that closes this trough switch, which advances the ball count unit. I gotta explain how did I notice? Because you want the trough switch to not do that. I got it. Okay. So there's a ball drain switch, but there's also the ball has moved to the shooter lane. And the ball moving to the shooter lane switch is called the trough switch. So on ball 5, when you roll over and you do the trough switch, you're gonna move the add ball count to 5, but I could see on the ball count unit. So this was an interesting piece of this. So the ball count unit has lights on it for ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and game over. So the ball count unit needs to advance when ball 5 drains so that it shows game over. But it's not advancing because the ball rolls over the trough switch, because we don't want it to do that. So there's this other path where the out hole relay is energized and the motor's turned, but there's also this piece right here. So on the ball count unit wiper, there are contacts on one side of that wiper for the ball in play lights. But there's another set of contacts that actually let the game know if you're playing ball 3 or ball 4 or ball 5. Actually, it doesn't do anything special for 4. I think that's like a catch-all for 3 if it's screwed up. But essentially, if you set your game for a 3-ball game, there are contacts there that when you're on ball 3, when you drain, the out hole relay is now going to, it must advance it 3 times or something when you end a 3-ball game. But these contacts were not making contact. So this circuit was not closed. So we were never advancing the ball count unit as a result of the out hole relay. It was only ever going through the trough switch, which is the normal, like when you're going from ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is how you want it to advance. But when you're at the last ball, whether you're configured for 3-ball or 5-ball, it needs to advance differently. And that's what this circuit does. And I've seen this before where, people service that unit and the contacts that you have on top, you can see, and you clean those, but you kind of miss that there are contacts down on the bottom. And when they're dirty, it doesn't end the game.
So all you did was clean the contacts and voila.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cool.
Okay.
Well, that was a good dopamine hit for the end of the show.
We have a good high note to end on.
That was awesome. Let's see. How do I guess let's zoom out. Wait. There we go. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well, that was great. Thank you all so much. We want to see what the final results are for
I'll
Chicago.
hang out another hour or two, whatever you have time for. We'll work on Old Chicago. We're going to report back. There was a switch.
Yeah.
Or a wire was getting pinched by a screw or something. It's going to be
Something
like one thing, but really, by the time you're looking for a short instead of a switch that's not closing or something like that, you can't use a schematic. There's no sort of obvious steps. You're going to kind of try to narrow down how this is happening, and then till you can have enough that's worth looking at, we'll start tracing wires and stuff. So.
Awesome. You should put a timer on and see how long it takes.
Oh yeah, I'll be running my meter.
Yes. And if we get it working, we'll make a little video and we'll send it to you.
There you go. We can clip it onto the end of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone says thank you. Yeah, absolutely. And just a reminder, everyone, for the free domestic shipping for orders over $99 and $10 off. International shipping code is PT-Lynns is back active for y'all to get all your parts for your tech repair needs. We'd love to have you back on the show one day, David.
Yeah, we'll figure something out, whether it's here or
Yeah, maybe we'll go
We'll have
take a trip up to the museum would be really epic.
Oh, okay. Or we'll figure out what works. You know, what do we need?
Yeah,
And
maybe we can do a Manu, a Mystery Pinball Theater, and Dry 374 co-op stream where they do the little like Dragon Ball Z fusion and become the ultimate streamers. And
yeah,
then we watch
we'll
you
see
guys
what
work
we.
on games.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. All right, well, y'all have fun. Matthew, are you guys streaming your strikes later tonight?
Rex is possibly going to be streaming tonight. I'm not sure yet. Most
All
likely.
right.
Yeah.
Follow Lynn's Arcade and put notifications on so you guys will see if they go live or not. We are going to go ahead and raid Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. He's playing
Yeah.
Jurassic Park at Free Gold Watch.
This is
There's
why I'm
some
thinking his
dancing
rig
going
might not be good. He streams right. I mean, he starts before you end. So I don't know how we would use his rig, but
Well, no, he would just stream there. We'll
I
make a
know.
mashup.
Well,
We'll swap
yeah, but
over.
I was thinking you make both shows into a
Right.
show. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. It'll be fun. Next week we are going to be at Houston Arcade Expo. I will try to go live there during setup and see what happens. We're not setting up a booth, so I will just have my not super mobile streaming setup, but we'll see what we can get. All right, we are rating. It's nice to see all y'all, and see you next week. Bye, guys. Thank you. We're off on